Hello, everyone. I'm Bobo the Vulture. This is F1 Manager 2022, and there's always some final work to do before we can set off. But we're gonna start looking at our first race weekend here. I guess we'll see how long it takes to go through an individual race weekend, because of course there's many days of events in these. I'm curious now, actually, is it starting us on the Thursday or the Friday? Because there's not a lot of cars. I don't think there's cars on track on Thursday. The F1 cars on track. You basically have Friday's practice, Saturday's qualifying, races Sunday. But there are events that go on, leading up to that. In terms of there'll be a press conference on Thursdays. Anyways. Let's check our inbox for the race prep report on this weekend's circuit. So these are our Okay, so here's David Weeder. He's got something to tell us. With Bahrain testing behind us, we now know where our car stands versus the other teams. I've attached a report below detailing our car's performance. We should use this information to guide our car part design strategy throughout the season and minimize any performance weaknesses. Regards, David. Guess what? It's all week. How are our cars even 19th? I guess this is out of 20. It's like there are only 10 different kinds of cars. But yes, our cornering is the worst in everything, pretty much. But there you go. I did want to know about that. And then today.
Okay. You have all the information you should need. Let's head to race preparation to see if there's any remaining tasks for us to complete.
Well, I'd like to read this email first. But okay. Thank you, Audrey. Here's our one of our race engineers, James Irwin. Good morning, Bobo. The Bahrain Grand Prix is almost here, so I want to make sure that the team is prepared before we leave. As always, please make sure that you've completed the below before heading to each race weekend. Check the circuit info to plan our strategy. Check our performance targets and potentially guarantee them results. Guarantee them results. No, but guarantee results to get a higher reward. Oh, so you can bluster about saying, oh, I know that we are going to score points this weekend for sure, baby. And then if you do, the sponsors will be like, oh, he was right. Way to go. And then check out that our car builds are using our best car part designs. We only have the one set of car parts, probably. Bahrain International Circuit. It's going to be cloudy day. It's a pretty long, the Bahrain circuit is a pretty long circuit for a modern F1 race. It's going to be 57 laps and all that good stuff. So let's go to race prep. I can go to car parts preparation, but let's just go to race prep.
This is your race preparation area, where you'll get the team ready for the upcoming race weekend. You can also find all the information you need on the circuit we're racing on here.
Okay. Find all the information we need. But again,
one thing you'll always need to do before each race weekend is setting our performance targets. These help us generate more potential rewards for the team.
Okay. It's a very abrasive car. Historic safety car chance 100%. So it's guaranteed we'll have a safety car? That seems strange. Pit lane time loss 25 seconds. That's interesting because, of course, back in the days when they had refueling, you could take 25 seconds on an individual pit stop. That would be kind of long, but from the time that you take to drive into the pits and to stop, get the fuel on, go, could be as much as 25 seconds. The lap record is from 2005. Pedro de la Rosa did it in, I'm going to guess, a Mercedes. I think he was a fill-in for... Yeah, no, I think he had a season in Mercedes as a driver. Or maybe it's just filling in for someone. I can't remember offhand. But yeah, so our performance targets. Every race weekend, sponsors will give you performance targets with cash incentives to motivate your team to succeed. You can also guarantee results that boost reward higher. Incentives are goals set by the sponsors to motivate the team. There's no penalty for failing, but there are cash rewards for success. Guarantees. You can also guarantee results, but there's a cash penalty if you fail. Let's check them
We've
out.
got the performance targets for this coming weekend. If we meet these, we'll gain extra revenue.
So yes, each week they will set targets and they'll offer incentives. We can get a bigger reward if we get those. We can add guarantees. I don't think we should be adding any guarantees right now. But it'll reduce the base payment. So you could take a little bit away from your base payment and bet on bigger results. I don't think we have the car, the team necessary to hit any variety of performance goals. Our goals need to be, like for this weekend, I think our goals need to be to get our cars to the finish. Like if we could finish the race, that's probably good. Because there's every chance that the cars will break down or that we will suffer some crashes because we'll qualify near the back, which means that we'll be in traffic the entire time. So it's going to be difficult that way. And then there are performance targets that could apply to the qualifying session, the race itself, or on a hot streak of finishes. Hot streak targets extend over multiple races, and you need to maintain it. So you could be like The Undertaker at WrestleMania.
Looks like we've got incentives for both the qualifying session and the race. If we can reach those targets, we'll get an additional payout, and it won't cost the team anything if we don't meet them.
Yeah, we're definitely not earning fastest lap in the race. We're almost definitely, like there could be some miracle or some mitigating factor that means that one of our cars reaches the final qualifying session. But if we reach the final qualifying session, that means one of our cars is qualified in the top 10. Basically, the way qualifying works is they have 3 rounds, and like the very bottom of the grid is set at the end of the first round. Those folks don't get to move on to the second round of qualifying. Then basically everything except the top 10 is set in Q2, and then Q3 is the top 10 are set.
You can also decide to add targets here and offer our sponsors guarantees. These are a risk as we face a potential financial loss if we don't meet them. But if we do, we'll gain a much larger reward. Okay, if you want to offer a guarantee for this weekend and raise the team's potential rewards, now is your chance.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. But please let me know how, I guess. Propose as many guarantees as we have guaranteed slots. Well, let's see, what are the guarantees that we could do? We could guarantee that one of our drivers will qualify 15th. I don't even feel confident in doing that. That we would reach Q2. I don't even feel confident in offering that up either. Targets in the race. We have 1 guarantee slot that we can make. That one of our drivers finishes in 15th. I don't think these are good. Hot streaks. Finish position streak of 15th. Nope, not doing it.
You've done everything needed, and the team can't wait to get started. It's time for the first race of the season. You can take some more time to look around if you like. When you're ready, let's get this show on the road.
All right. I noticed they haven't done any walkthrough of car development yet, and maybe they just want you to get a race under your belt before you start working on optimizing things like that. But like our circuit info, our driver interview, our car build. Manage the build of car 1. Do we have any other options? Okay, so we don't have any other parts to change. Because I guess we haven't developed. I imagine it's it'll be eventually we might develop chassis W2022C-2 that would be an evolution of this one, although evolution is a mystery. Oh yeah, C chassis 1, front wing 1, rear wing 1, side pod 1, underfloor 1, suspension 1. Car analysis. It sucks. But that's alright. Apparently we're ready to go to the race weekend.
Welcome to the archipelago of Formula One. Bahrain might have a small land footprint, but it's showing its big spirit right now in the grandstands. Either way, it's time for another fantastic weekend of Grand Prix racing. The Bahrain International Circuit is a challenging track, and the cars routinely have to brake from high gear to low to take the narrow turns. With the need for downhill braking, the risk of locking up is one drivers will need to manage. It's all about focus and balance to get victory here. At this early stage in the season, there are still plenty of opportunities for things to change. In this sport, there simply are no guarantees. Okay then, let's get to it.
Great, so it sounds like braking performance is going to be of...
Great to see you again. Welcome to your first race weekend with the team. It's Friday, so we're kicking off with free practice 1 as usual.
So it sounds like braking performance is going to be very important with this particular race, which is great because we have, I believe they noted that Latifi is a little bit shy on the brakes heading into and out of corners. And our brake cooling is terrible. Of course, everything's terrible on the car, so what am I saying? But yes, the weekend format, yes, Friday is practice. Each weekend contains 3 60-minute practice sessions, and during practice, the team tests new car parts, they acclimatize the drivers to the circuit, and they fine-tune car setups for the weekend. I'm reading a lot of this out loud, both so that I can internalize it, and because I know people might not be watching the video in a place where it's very easy to read this text, because the text is kind of small. Judging how visually intensive this game is, maybe some people are going to be just listening to these. So the best I can do to provide narration, I'll do it. And yes, now there's qualifying, and qualifying follows a knockout format. Over 3 timed rounds, drivers compete to set the fastest lap times and progress to the next round to secure the best grid position they can. Some of this obviously is stuff that I've already said to you guys, but I will also take the game's strict definitions of these things, because that's the rules we're going to play by. Then the race, which is the main event of every Grand Prix weekend. Teams execute a pit stop strategy and complete the race distance as quickly as possible. The top 10 drivers score points in the Drivers' Championship and for their team in the Constructors' Championship. Additionally, there's a point for the driver and the constructor with the fastest lap if they finish in the top 10. Okay. Bahrain is a power circuit. And we're going to have clear skies today. It's going to be cloudy Saturday and Sunday. And our sponsors are all around. We got reports, post-practice report. We haven't done anything in practice yet, so I guess let's continue.
Over here is our race preparation area. This is where you can make any changes you need ahead of the upcoming practice session. Rest assured the team have already prepared the cars for practice. When you're ready, we can continue to the practice session.
Okay, so nothing's been tested yet. The car setup, we haven't, they've already set up the car. Like, obviously the cars are assembled and everything, but we haven't exactly seen what it's going to be like on the track because we haven't had the car out on this particular track yet. So, track acclimatization. Driver becomes climatized with the track as they spend time on it. The longer the driver is on the track without stopping, the faster track acclimatization increases. So what would be nice to do, honestly, is get some long runs in. There are different types of setups that you can use and different types of outings in practice that you can use. You can put together a qualifying setup and try and just go out and do the fastest lap that you can and then come right back in and see how well you do at that. Or you can set it up for a more steady, conservative setup that you can maintain over a race distance. And it would probably be just to these drivers' benefits to be able to get out there and sort of get a feel for the car. Car parts knowledge gained by using the car parts during the practice session increases their performance during the race weekend as they learn how to get the most out of their new car setup. Confidence. Oh yeah, there's info. Car parts knowledge makes up about 3/15 of the max performance bonus that can be gained during practice sessions. Perfecting setup confidence amounts to 9/15 of the max potential driver performance bonus that can be gained during practice. So being confident in your setup is going to be the key factor in your performance. Setup confidence is gained by adjusting the car and sending it out on track during practice sessions to get feedback from the driver. Improving the setup increases the driver's performance for the rest of the race weekend. So it's important that we dial in our setup. Car parts knowledge, I think, is going to sort of accumulate. If I had to guess, car parts knowledge will sort of accumulate over the year. Setup is going to have to basically reset every race weekend. Our performance bonuses. The total boost this driver gains from their track acclimatization, car parts bonus, and setup confidence. Okay, so like their stats and everything that we were looking at before are their baselines, and then they get bonuses to them by setting up their car well. We have a bunch of different compounds. We have softs, mediums, hards, intermediates, and wets. I'd like to get some runs on medium and hard tires, just to see. But I believe we'll only have so many for each driver over the course of the weekend. The car parts. We have no issues with any of our car parts right now. After practice 3, car parts can only be replaced with a car part of the same design. So we can't be switching out different types of parts once practice is done, basically. So we can't go out there and qualifying with a completely different car than what we practiced with. The setup is untested. Once a car goes out on track during Q1, only front wing angle changes will be permitted. So you can add or remove front wing angle, but everything else, the way the car is set up, is locked in basically at qualifying time. Our run plan is 15 laps. It's a fuel load. Okay, so fuel per lap. The run plan is the strategy created for this driver that determines how many laps they should do, and for qualifying, what kind of laps they should do when they head out on the track. So 15 laps is a moderate run. That's probably good to start out. Like, I'm going to go with all of their defaults because they're not. It's a simulation, but it's still a game. They're trying to set us up for success here. Team will set the fuel load, assuming the driver will complete the run plan under the balanced fuel command. So, right, I guess if you tell them go aggro from the get-go, then they're going to run out of fuel before the planned run length, because they're going to consume more fuel by driving aggressively. Then driver options. Tell your driver how they should drive at the start of the session. This can be changed at any time using the driver commands. So there you go. Pace, standard, so you can make them drive faster or slower. Lift and coast, which I imagine you try and do to preserve the car and to preserve the brakes and to, avoid, to preserve the brakes and save fuel. And then ERS is neutral, which I don't know how we would change that or what it is. There you go. You can select these pace commands, fuel usage. So pace commands affect drivers on how they should approach cornering, affecting lap times, tire wear, and the risk of racing incidents. So there you go. That's what I was talking about, basically. Ah, I see. And so there you can see what it does when I change from standard down to light. You will drop your cornering speed, acceleration, and your tire wear, and your engine wear, and your braking force. So those all go way down if I conserve. Standard, they're all in the middle. Everything goes up. Yeah, so, but we'll set everybody up at standard. Lift and coast is balanced, lift and push, or conserve. Okay, and then ERS strategy. ERS strategies determine how often the car discharges or stores energy throughout a lap. It offers a driver short boost in acceleration, so it is a powerful tactical tool. It's basically like nitros, except it's done using a hybrid energy system, basically like a battery storage system. The battery is charged under hard braking and is let out again in an electric boost. Oh, so you have a harvest and a deploy strategy. Okay. I mean, it's all interesting to me. I don't know if how interesting it is to everybody else, but... Oh, I can show you how each set of tires that you have is doing. This compound is locked into a race session. So you have to save at least one of each tire, aside from the wet tires. You have to save at least one until the race. Because you have to, yeah, okay. Because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then this one is locked. But that tire, you have to save at least one set of each of the types of tires for the race. You would hopefully save even more than that. Okay, but those are our reports. That data is not yet available, and that data is not yet available. All right, so let's continue. Yes, and we already did this part, right? So they're ready. Let's go to the practice.
During race weekends, you can decide whether you want to manage the practice sessions yourself or whether to hand over control to your team. As it's your first race weekend, you should let the team handle the practice sessions.
As you say, lady. Oh, it literally doesn't even give me the option to manage them. They are grayed out. Well, all right, let's simulate qualifying then. I want to see how well our guys did, though.
Here we are, back for more Formula One action as we prepare for qualifying. We've already seen a lot of excitement building since Formula One arrived in town, and today's qualifying is sure to be no exception. Success may stem from a well-prepared strategy, or a driver capable of incredible audacity. Put it this way, there simply is no surefire recipe for victory.
Somebody lost their
Strap
keys in there.
yourselves in. This is Formula One.
Well, I hope you guys have all strapped yourselves into your chairs. Practice 3 results, not a big surprise. Max Verstappen has the fastest time of the practice sessions, although kind of a surprise. Big gains here, big gains by the Ferraris. Carlos Sainz and Charles Leclerc in second and third, and Sergio Perez is in fourth. Another really big surprise, Valtteri Bottas in the Alfa Romeo up there in fifth during practice. Now, practice only means so much, but that's higher up than Lewis Hamilton and George Russell. Where are our boys? Kevin Magnussen had a pretty good outing for the Haas. Zhou Guanyu driving around in his Blue Dragon Alfa Romeo. So Alfa Romeo doing a surprisingly great performance for a rear-of-the-grid team. Which I feel like I tried not to read too much about this game, but I did read that of the back-of-the-pack teams, the sort of easiest start would be with Alfa Romeo. So it may be just that the way their balance went. It's whatever happened. Lando Norris. Wow, McLaren down in 12th for starting. Mick Schumacher. Yuki Tsunoda. Yeah, and Danny Ricciardo all the way down in 16th. The Aston Martin's not doing very well, but still both did better than our cars. So, like, we are almost 3 seconds back from Max Verstappen's fastest time. Almost a whole 3 seconds per lap. At least we got some good lap running out there, I guess. Hopefully our boys will have gotten some knowledge. They're very interested in the acquisition of knowledge. And I suppose it's not a shocker that Alex Albon did actually manage to squeak a little more performance out of the car than Nicholas Latifi. He's got better stats.
To help maximize our drivers' performance, the team have them work on 3 goals during practice: track acclimatization, car parts knowledge, and setup confidence.
Okay, so we already looked at these a little bit, but now they're going over it with us with the assistant a little bit, Audrey, which is good.
If you manage the session yourself, you might get an even better performance from the drivers for the rest of the weekend.
Well, but you told me not to. This is what I get for listening to you, I guess. But their performance bonus is 11 out of 15 overall. You can see there the Nicholas Latifi setup confidence is nice. Actually did a better job with his setup than Alex Albon. But we'll see how the actual performance in the race goes. So he's going to have a bigger boost off of his baseline stats, but his baseline stats are a little poorer than Albon's. So we'll see how that all shakes out in the actual race. And I suppose this all makes sense because Albon is brand new to the team. Latifi has a long-term relationship with his engineer, so they're going to have been able to work a little bit better together on the setup. It's all making sense. So there's nothing we can do here other than just look at what has happened. So, yeah, so his bonus distribution. He's going to have bonuses to control. He's going to have all of his bonuses set up. I want to see what his performance bonuses are. His control is going to be up to 91. Oh my God, out of control. Alex Albon is looking pretty sharp for the race, aside from not being super accurate and being a little bit shy on the corners. Both of these guys are going to be a little bit shy on the corners. Latifi did not gain a lot of bonus or experience on braking, which is going to really hurt him in the Bahrain circuit, I think. But we'll see how everybody does.
Right. Time for qualifying. Our results here will determine where we start on the grid for Sunday's race.
That is what qualifying is, yes. Okay.
Qualifying takes place over 3 knockout rounds, and only the fastest drivers will advance each time.
So we're only really going to have to worry about one knockout round, right? These are the things I can say now while the team is up there on my television and they're not listening to me, because otherwise I think I would be a big drain on morale. But let's be realistic. We're looking to get through this weekend in one piece. Oh, practice 2 as well. Okay, Max Verstappen set his fastest lap in the first session. Interesting. So I wonder if in any session did we exceed any expectations. Now, we're at the bottom of practice 1, bottom of practice 2. Latifi was over 3 seconds off in that session. That's just sad. So sad. I mean, you look, we only get down to the 2-second range down at like 16. Like, down until you get to Aston Martin. Aston Martin and Williams are in their own spheres of suck. So, we're just trying to be not suck next year. Well, maybe this year if we can. Those targets. Post-practice report. Compound performance. Time lost from degradation on the hard compounds is the lowest, obviously, But competitive performance, 15 to 20, 37 laps. What I'm thinking about doing, it'll cost us an extra 2 seconds per lap, but what I typically think of doing as far as just a good strategy for a team that we don't expect is going to be able to make big aggressive strides is just slap hard tires onto things and try and not have to pit as often. See if we can do it with one fewer pit stop. It both averages out to a lower, like a faster time overall, and it minimizes the possibility of pit mistakes in the segments. So yeah, we've got long straights. This mostly straights with a couple of slows. And again, the weather we know about. So yeah, for qualifying, obviously they're going to have on soft tires. He's 69% confident instead of 63%. Run plan is one flying lap. Okay, so the run plan is a strategy created for this driver that determines how many laps they should do, and for qualifying, what kinds of laps they should do. Yeah, for qualifying, the default run is one out lap, one flying lap. So yeah, this is the way every qualifying is done. The rules used to be there was an hour and a half session and you just had an allocation of 12 laps that you could take, which divided out into basically 4 qualifying runs, because every qualifying run is 3 laps. It counts as 1 lap heading out onto the track to get to the start-finish line the first time. And then you have 1 lap at pace, because then you hit that, you get out there, you're driving, because you need the momentum of your start. Obviously, you're not going to have a fast time starting from the pits and moving slowly out of the pits. So you got that time. You take it, then you do that lap at speed, you cross the finish line, then you slow down to get the car back to the pits. The reason you only do 1 lap at a time is because you want to be carrying as little weight as possible in the car, and the fuel is weighed. I mean, it has weight, I should say. In fact, in F1, they usually, when they're talking about weight, they don't talk about it in terms of fluid volume. They talk about it in terms of weight. They'll say, we're going to add this many kilos of fuel. They don't say we're going to add this many liters of fuel. But yeah, so this all makes sense. They're going to do a flying lap. All right. And it's going to be the same for him. I can't imagine a condition where you would do something different than that for these. Let's start qualifying.
Same as practice, the team can handle qualifying for you if you like. Let's get you hands-on for this round though, just to make sure you're feeling confident before race day kicks off.
Okay. We'll do it. We'll manage it. Manually direct our team during the session. Simulate is now grayed out. I do want to manage this qualifying session.
Our drivers need to be setting their fastest possible lap times, so we can advance to the next round of qualifying. The slowest 5 cars will be knocked out.
And those are ours. Okay, and you may have heard they actually have drivers. They have samples of all the driver speech. That was the actual Alex Albon, and
Keep
probably
a
the actual
careful eye on
engineer.
time remaining. The time limit on qualifying rounds really ramps up the pressure.
Indeed.
Right then, let's get a car out on the track for its first run and see how it goes.
There's no traffic right now, so let's send Latifi out. Now, in theory, Now we can watch him go. A go, go, go. And of course, the track grip is not going to be very good right now because Latifi is literally the first car out. You see him swerving around back and forth, seemingly erratically. Like I'm going to send Albon out now that he is a good...
Each car is fitted with a number of onboard cameras,
Okay.
so you can see the action as it happens. You can also use the map view if you like. It gives you a good overview of the whole track and all the cars. Remember, you're managing 2 drivers throughout the session, so make sure to keep an eye on both of them.
Yeah, I was about to say, Albon's maybe... Or sorry, Latifi is a third of the way through the lap. I could send out Albon pretty soon, maybe. But they'll probably tell me, you should do that soon. Oh, there you go. You can get a nice onboard shot. Watch Latifi going through. Yeah, that was not a great exit there. But again, he's only on his warm-up. Oh, other cars are starting to exit now. Ah, I should have gotten Albon out there earlier. Okay, let's send Albon out now. Alright, so you're about to cross the line and start your qualifying lap. Let's see what you got. Track is starting to get decent grip. Oh my gosh, that's a terrible first turn. Okay, the rubber is high, the grip is high, it's dry. This is your time to shine. What the... We're gonna run into people doing their outlaps now. Okay, you know you need to stay... You need to stay the fuck out of my way! Of course, a qualifying pace, it looks like he may very nearly catch up to Albon. Alright, Albon is going to get his flying laps started before Latifi gets back in. How's that lap?
That's a decent time for a flying lap. Keep an eye on the standings
Is
throughout
it?
the session, and try and keep the drivers out of the knockout zone.
Is it, though? I don't know that it is.
Right then. That qualifying run is done, so the driver will return to the pits now.
Yes.
I know everything happens so fast over a race weekend. But if you need to catch your breath, you can pause for as long as you like. Or, if things aren't moving fast enough for you, you can speed up a little.
That might be important to remember for actual races, that we could speed up time, simulate things like that. I don't think in terms of qualifying we're going to necessarily need to worry about slowing things down or speeding things up, I should say, until we're, getting into multiple qualifying sessions. But there you go. It does show you. All right, I want to find out how I can switch over to Albon's camera. Another driver locked up. Okay, copy. Competitor locked up, so... Another car is run wide.
And that's the lockup!
Stroll locked up.
Let's take a look at the replay. Now let's have a look. It's Lance Stroll. And yes, that's the lockup.
Haha, Nepo baby. I don't want to take manual control here. Manual control will give you full control over pace, fuel usage. It will only last for the duration of this run on track. I'll reset back to that. No. I just want to change which guy I've got the camera on. Latifi's on his in-lap. This is not interesting. Oh, there you go. It's R1. How you doing, Albon? Just in time for him to cross the line. No, actually he was on that backstretch. Well, I was about to say, ooh, we did out-qualify one person on our lap, but that is solely because Stroll locked up. Hey, that is a big improvement. Well, I mean, that's a much better lap than Latifi got out of it. Now, the track had been rubbered in a little bit for Albon, so Latifi's headed into the pits now. Okay. Put your limiter on. Alright, so...
Our driver is back in the pits. You need to reconfigure the car before we can send them back out. Let's go and take a look.
Yeah.
The team will make sure the run plan is updated to include refueling. So all you have to do is fit some fresh tyres. Here you can see all the tyre compounds available this weekend. When making any changes, just be sure you're considering both the condition and the compound of the selected tyre.
So yes, the grip. Tire compounds. Tires are the contact point between the car and the track. While on track, tire condition will degrade and tires will lose grip. When tires lose grip, the car will be slower. If the tire's condition reaches 0%, it will fail completely. If 2 or more tires fail, the car will be forced to retire. Probably not good to let any of them fail. Dry compounds. Each dry compound has its own strengths and weaknesses. The soft is fastest, but least durable. The medium is a balance of speed and durability. The hard is slowest, but the most durable. So like I said, I mean, there would be no reason to use anything other than soft tires during qualifying unless you had some strategy cooked up where you're going to use all the soft tires in the world during the race. And there are also 2 wet compounds to use during sessions with rain. These are used in different water on-track conditions. The intermediates for a wet track, and the wets are for a very wet track. So if there's less than 4 millimeters of water, you'd use inters, and if it's going to be more than that, they're full wets. People call those monsoon tires.
We want maximum performance during qualifying, so let's use a fresh, soft compound tyre. Soft tyres are the fastest in dry conditions. Confirm the configuration with the team when you're happy.
Sure, okay. Then these... Their condition is 86%, so they've already been out for once. These are going to be in 100. So honestly, we could probably use this same set again. But here, returned to Pirelli. After each practice session, teams will return a mandated number of dry tires to Pirelli. For any driver who advances to Q3, teams will also return an additional set of soft tires once Q3 is complete. These ones are locked until the race session. So, that's weird. Let's go ahead and apply this one again. Fit those new tires on.
I wouldn't recommend using these tyres. We'd be best using a fresh soft set for the current conditions. But the car is ready to head back out at your say-so. It's probably best to do at least one more run before the end of the round, unless you're feeling very confident about our time so far.
Okay, so they're basically telling me, what are you trying to do? But yeah, obviously we were going to try and do another lap. I was trying to save on our softs because I don't know what we're going to need for the race.
The track will have more grip later in the round, but there will also be more traffic. It's up to you to decide when you want to send the car out. Whatever gets us through to Q2.
Indeed. All right, so I'll reconfigure Latifi's car again. Three minutes, there's a 5% chance of rain. So not super likely. You'll notice that our times keep being at the very bottom. Well, Verstappen and Perez have both put in their laps. Russell has. Hamilton has yet to go on track. You can see sort of there on the left-hand side, there's Ver, Per, Russ, Allo, Joe, Rick, Musk, Mag, Alb, Latster. They are little three-letter abbreviations for all of our guys. Oh, we got another Haas and Ferrari going out. We got a Ferrari going out and Haas coming in. Let's send Latifi out again. And let's get a new set of drives on Albon's car for future times. So far, we haven't been eliminated from knockout qualifying yet because not enough cars have qualified yet for that to be an issue. You'll see later on, everybody will all just sort of go hog wild. It's the glowing spirit map here. See, Latifi is already out. He's sort of doing his shuffle around. Let's see how much Latifi is able to improve. If Latifi is able to, in fact, improve at all. Oh, here comes Hammy. Here comes Ham Sammy. Whoa, 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 whoa. He's getting the heat into those tires, getting them all warmed up. All right, here we go. Time for that big jumbo effort. I know you've got this, Latifi. Let's put together a lap that's nice. Didn't exactly clip that corner, but, you know, you're the F1 driver, not me. Oh, I'm hanging it in there, that's pretty good. What a terrible time to run into a lapper. At least they got out of our way nicely. But just like in the middle of a long turn. Sort of the longest turn complex in the whole thing. It's a 20% chance of rain in 3 minutes. Okay, Latifi is officially on the bubble. Let's see if he improves his time any. He improves his time, but not his position. Alright. Well, I guess it's time to get Double A out there. Woo! Come on, Double A. Come on, Double A. It's Alex Albon, baby. Woo! Let's go, Double A. Come on, Double A. I guess this would be the part that we could, in theory, speed our way through. I think with 5 minutes left, we're probably not going to send Latifi out again. And we are, now that everybody is qualified, we are well inside the knockout zone. Alright guys, let's take a lap around Bahrain with old Alex Albon. It's interesting how they have kind of 2 minutes will be a 35% chance of rain. It might start raining before the session is over. We should have all of our laps in by the time it does, but Albon's got lots of clear track in front of him, though. If ever our guys are going to do it, it's going to be Albon, and it's going to be now. But yeah, it's kind of interesting. You look at the graphics here. They seem to have simulated dust and minor scratches on the lens of the camera that we're watching this from. You can sort of see it, especially in the flare off of the lights, because this is a night race. Albon managed to Suck it, 4-time world champion Sebastian Vettel. Alex Albon just whooped your ass. That's what Albon 316 says. Oh, okay, so there's a little counter there that says we have like 5 minutes. Got 5 minutes left. Well, no, we got 2 minutes left. Why is it saying 55? We got 2 minutes left in the qualifying session. Everybody's going out for another lap. Well, Albon got a pretty good one. Oh, I did not mean to turn into that kind of party. Of course, now it is too late for Latifi to get out. I didn't realize if he hit left, it would move from 1 times speed to 16 times speed. I was actually considering letting Latifi take one more lap. But I guess not. Okay, so Albon's headed into the pits. Copy. Put your limiter on. You have to wear a rubber. Let's see if Vettel manages to improve his time to best Albon. Is there any way that I can look at the other drivers here? Oh, Mick Schumacher's going to have a penalty.
From the data view, you can see live data from the current session. Here we can see the latest lap and sector times for all drivers, and an overview of their tyre conditions. Here you can also view how the current session could affect the drivers' and constructors' championship standings. There's plenty more to dive into with the data view, so make sure you spend some time exploring.
Why didn't you tell me that while the session was still on? Well, we'll have to look at these. Wow, there's a lot of stuff going on here. Let's take a look at this strategy view. Oh, this was just the checkered flag is out. Like, right, that's the session. No, we still managed better than Vettel. We are outperforming the well, no, wait. Vettel's not back in. We're already in pit. You'll see the checkered flag will show that everybody has completed their last lap. So it is possible that Vettel is on a flyer that will knock us out of our position. I thought for a minute there, since the session had ended, that he had not been able to improve on his time. But if you're out on the track and the session is over, you can still complete your race. You can still complete your qualifying lap. But he did not improve his time. I guess he did slightly, but not enough. So we, in our little Williams, our humble little Williams cars, are having the edge on. Well, okay, so never mind. Once Stroll got in an actual lap, he outshone Latifi there.
It looks like we didn't make it through to Q2. Not great, but it's only the first weekend of the season. Plenty of time to improve.
Oh, I see. The number I was seeing up there actually relates to the amount of time that's going on. I didn't realize that this video had gone on for almost an hour. We got plenty of time to improve, though. But I guess we'll look at improving next time. Both our drivers were eliminated, though. AA Alex Albon has been eliminated. We'll check out more next time.